Now we go on to Cody Dake. So Cody Dake is one of those lists that I was excited to show you because he brought a new twist to the meta, guys. A lot of people have been talking down this unit. They don't know where to feel about it, about the units that he brought, but I like it. He actually went straight into the Big Mech in Mega Armor. Look at that. 1, 2, 3 Big Mechs in Mega Armor. Mazrog Scrag Bag. Nabon Smasher Squig with Ed Wapper's Kill Chopper, just the way I like it. And then a War Boss follow me, lads. I appreciate that too, because if you ever fail that charge with the War Boss and his knobs, guys, that's just gonna hurt your green skin heart, and it could definitely give the enemy the advantage by just destroying them after that. It's usually when you start to use what I call the Scalpel unit as War Boss and knobs, we try to utilize that because you're really trying to deal with a problematic unit. So I'm never against that, especially with the point reduction of the War Boss himself. Now we got 4 trucks with 60 points. I think that's kind of the key number in my opinion. 3 to 4 trucks, depending on what you're doing. With what's happening now in the meta, guys, I think as much as you might not want to hear it, trucks are still going to be very important at the high levels. We have 1, 2, 3 units of Mega Knobs. All of them have a kill saw, not dual kill saw, because they also have the combi weapon. So keep that in mind. Knobs with power claws, Squig Hog Boy, but 1 brick and then 1 little one. I like to run 1 brick and then 2 small units. Okay, just my preference, but that's totally good too. And then 2 units of War Bikers. War Bikers for the 70 points is a great unit, guys, for utility. The fact that they have assault, the fact that they have their own built-in slight durability. Late game, they're going to come in and still be able to kind of survive the small arms fire of whatever's left from your enemy and keep scoring objective and possibly punch some weakened units. So keep in mind, this guy brought a new twist to the meta, something that most people aren't bringing. Most people that maybe have overlooked it for a long time, but since the Mega Knobs went down in points, he decided I'm going to go ahead and bring those. So I really like to see that. With that being said, let's look at his matchups because he did go first. Even I know this is an RTT, but still very nice to go good at first in RTTs, guys. But let's look at his first matchup. And right off the bat, he went into Knights, which used to be one of our great predatory matchups, which is usually very hard for us. But the fact that terrain's changed, the fact that they don't have the ability to spread and then also get their own abilities to their small knights is a big deal. So we have Knight Castellan, a Knight Crusader, a Knight Paladin, and a Knight Warden. He just went into straight big boys. And Nathan, Cody ended up putting 96 points up into him. As you can see, the Mega Knobs are actually going to do okay with that with their high strength. And then they're going to be hard to shoot with all those big mechs because they're going to have the 4-up invuln as well. And they have the trucks that they have to pop, and then you can disembark behind a wall or something and be hidden. So yeah, they're very much a decent matchup. But here, he immediately went to what used to be the old big boss of the meta, Eldar. So we have the Artark Wayleaper, Farseer Skyrunner, Spirit Seer, and the Yinkarn. So the Yinkarn, even with the points increase, guys, the Yinkarn's still very valuable. The fact that Eldar want to shoot you anyways and then have someone teleport over there is just having someone teleport over there that's melee and then bully, try to relieve some of that pressure you're trying to put on them, is something that I can see ending up on more lists, in my opinion, than the Avatar Arcane, even though some people might just bring the Avatar because he's cooler. Then we have the Night Spinner, Shadow Spectre, Vipers, Warwalkers, even though they went up a little bit, guys, the fact that you're getting the lances for that cost is important. The Warp Spiders for their great ability to score with that amazing speed. And then what I expect is going to be very common on pretty much every Eldar list. It was already quite common, but with the fact that they're going to use the Wraith Knight, Wraith Guard are going to be on this list. That's actually why I like to see, but these are actually the anti-take version, but this is what I like to see my knobs go into, right? If you can somehow get your knobs into Wraith Guard, for once, knobs are not trading into like a point backwards, like too much. Usually the knobs cost more than some of the units they're trying to kill, but for the Wraith Guard, it does not. And that's usually, if you're playing into them, what you want to see them go into, in my opinion, right? So he ended up putting up 86 points. It was his lowest scoring game because Eldar's still Eldar, but he still got the win, guys. Like I said, even before the data slate changes, Orks, horrible, only at the top tables into Eldar. Okay, they were doing quite all right into them. After this list, I'll look quickly at the chats again, and then we'll keep going because remember, we have 3 more lists after this, and one of them is Tula Russo from Insane Clown Posse. And then his third matchup was actually, yes, a green skin on green skin matchup. So here we have, this is will be fun because, chat, maybe you can say something that you notice here as well. The difference between the list that we're talking about for who got first place and then the list that he fought, right? Here's I need to delete that night list. This is his first list, a bunch of Big Mechs and such like that. Mega Knobs. Here is who he went into. So we have a Beast Boss with Cunning but Brutal. I'm not going to ever knock anyone for bringing in the Beast Boss because the ability to kill vehicles with him is almost unmatched when you're talking about just a base infantry, essentially. If you guys don't know exactly how to use the beast boss, I'll be going into more detail about that. But pay attention to his beast snag ability, the beast snag boys that he's with ability, because you're essentially picking up all the hits, even on twos. You're re-rolling those once you have Unbridled Carnage, and the beast boss will end up getting like anywhere from 10 to 14 hits just based off that, and then that's how he starts to throttle into enemies. Then we got Boss Snickrod. I like to see Boss Snickrod. Then we have Gaz Ghoul. I love to see Gaz. Nobon Smasher Kid with Ed Wapa's Kill Chopper, and then another Nob. So this so far is looking like a solid list, but it doesn't have mods. It doesn't have some of the other archetypal things that we'll see. Now we have the one unit of Beast Snaggle Boys, a second unit of Beast Snaggle Boys. But notice I don't see a truck because with Gretchen, he brought 2 kill rigs. I'm totally into kill rigs, guys. I know people are kind of going back and forth, not sure about it. Kill rigs are viable. Maybe you're not going to win the biggest events ever, but you can win your games with your friends and you can surprise people. Kill rigs are those multi-purpose units that are going to always find some kind of play for the fact that they have versatility. Is they can buff you, they can transport for you, they can shoot for you with the war tower, they can tank shock and fight with for you. So they're totally viable. Then you have the commandos to go with Snickrot, 1 unit of Mega Knobs for Gaz, 2 Meg Guns because now the points increase, can't bring 3 pretty much. Squig Hog Boys, just 1 small unit, another small unit Squig Hog Boys, and 2 Storm Boys. So this was a totally viable list as well. It didn't go into some scrub list, but it was a little bit different because you had the kill rigs, which if you're going to be shooting their word tower shots into them, and then you have 4 up invulns on the other side, it can swing either way if you're picking up Mega Knobs or not. And even if a couple of those do get through, the dude's just picking up the Mega Knobs. Remember that, guys. The Big Mech and Mega Armor has the ability to pick them up. So that's always going to maintain the pressure and not allow the enemy to just shoot you freely. Plus, you have Mazrog that people are going to want to use for their anti-tank fire anyway. So this is a very interesting list with Cody Dake. This is a different take right away post data slate because Mega Knobs going down in points just got placed on that list. Instead of bringing just primarily all Squig Hog Boys, he brought some Mega Knobs. So I don't know if that's going to make it to the top at GT level, but at RTT level, casual play, look at your Mega Knobs, look at your Big Mech and Mega Armor, stuff like that. You're going to have a great time. And I never want to put down how people, whoa,